welcome. I know, man. I know we're running so late tonight. We are running so late. I don't even know where to begin with my sleep schedule. It's all over the place. I don't even know what else to say. It's all over the place. What is it? It's almost midnight. We're doing this stream. Wow. So, yeah, we're extremely late tonight. It's gonna get dark in here for just a second. Let me pull up the stream. There we go. I'm going to try to fix it, I promise. I'm going to try to fix it, guys. I just need time. I don't It's so backwards. What's up, Mike? Mike's going to get first in the chat tonight. What's up, dude? Welcome. Welcome. So, tonight we're doing something interesting. Tonight we're doing something a bit different. We're going to borrow some knowledge from one of my favorite blog posts called Nothing Works. Now, I'm sure some of you have probably read that or heard about that, right? Nothing Works. Personally, one of my favorite blog posts. So we're going to borrow a little bit of knowledge from that tonight. We're going to talk about that tonight. I was actually able to, I guess you not necessarily personally speak with the person who wrote that, but I am mentioned on that blog post, and we kind of spoke indirectly. We kind of spoke indirectly through, comments. So huge fan of that blog post, and it's basically just all about acceptance. But there is a part of that post that reads like this: anxiety minus rituals equals cure. And I've always loved that. I have always loved that. So I wanted to talk about that tonight. Um, let's see. I didn't even put my. There we go. Right. Almost forgot about that. How's it going, Wonder Bro? What's up, George? What's up, Z? Excited for coaching. Nice, dude. What's up, Hank? What's up, Brian? What's up, guys? Second is still good. How you doing, Hank? It's been a minute since I've seen you, dude. Welcome. So yeah, I wanna borrow some knowledge tonight and talk about that. Always one of my always has been one of my favorite parts of that entire post. Huge fan. How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome. We'll give it a few minutes, let some people get in here before we get started. I know we're starting extremely late tonight. I know. Hope you're well, my friend. I am. I hope you're doing good, Hank. Welcome. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend it if you haven't checked it out. It's called Nothing Works. Dot. I think you have to put dot Weebly, I believe. I definitely recommend it. Right? It's all about acceptance. Maybe him and I we don't word things exactly the same way. Right? But granted, it's all along the same lines. So if you haven't read it, you should check it out. If you feel like you need to, right? If you feel like you need to, there's nothing you're missing, obviously. There's nothing you're really missing, but if you want to check it out, I would. Don't do this to me. I'm sleepy as fuck. I know I don't want to do this to you. It's just my sleep is so backwards right now. My plan is, since I didn't wake up for so long and I slept so late, my plan is to try to stay up for the rest of the night slash day, right, and fix it. We'll see how well that goes. I don't want to have to do this to you, but I have to. No choice. No choice. Better late than never, right? All right, let's see. I'll give it another minute or two, roughly. Let chat fill up a little bit. Then we'll go ahead and get started on tonight's stream. Anxiety minus rituals equals cure is what we're going to be talking about. George says, cure, you say, LMAO. Wonder Bro cured me in like a month. I'm super grateful for the teachings, my dude. Hey, I appreciate it, George. I love to hear success stories like that, man. It makes it all worth it. Makes it all worth it. So that's awesome, dude. Keep it up. Keep it up. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's see, get that out of there. All right, there we go. So, anxiety minus rituals equals cure. Now, like I said, this is borrowed knowledge. This is borrowed knowledge. I'm not the person who come up with this, but I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So, we're going to break that down a little bit and we're going to talk about that today. So, anxiety minus rituals equals cure. What exactly does that mean? Right? What exactly does that mean? Anxiety minus rituals equals cure. So, if you've been here for a while, you know how we talk about teaching the brain, how the brain watches you, how the brain doesn't want you to get up there and fight and argue with these thoughts and feelings, but rather it wants to be taught through pure experience, aka living life. That all is well, right? If you've been here for a while, you know that. So, we know that we don't think our way out of anxiety, we live our way out of anxiety because the brain's only paying attention to that. Okay? When you get up in your head and you're doing all the arguing, all the fighting with the thoughts and feelings, you're not getting anywhere, you're running in circles, you're just telling your brain one thing, and that's danger. So we're all caught up there. We know the basics. So where does this fit into that? Where does anxiety minus rituals equal cure fit into that? Right? So what is a ritual? That's what we need to understand. What is a ritual? What is considered a ritual? A ritual is anything. Now, this is important. I want you to pay close attention to what I'm about to say here. A ritual is anything you do, right? A ritual is anything you do to try to get away from the anxiety, to try to stop the anxiety, to try to stop the thoughts, to try to fight with the thoughts, right? So let's give an example regarding thoughts. Let's say you have a negative intrusive thought that says such and such bad thing might happen, right? Now that's a pretty common one. Let's say you have a negative intrusive thought that says such and such bad thing might happen. What is a ritual in that regard? A ritual would be anything that you do to try to make that negative intrusive thought stop or go away, right? So if you try to get up into your thinking mind when you're having these thoughts, and of course that was just an example, you can apply them to whatever thoughts you're having. If you try to get up into your thinking mind and do something about this thought, try to figure it out, try to argue with it, try to problem solve, just fight with it, fight with it, fight with it, this anxious, intrusive thought's probably not going to go anywhere, right? Because you're giving it importance. You're giving it importance. Now, let's say you have physical anxious symptoms, right? Of course, that come with this thought, or maybe they come on their own, whatever. A ritual in that regard would be anything that you do to try to fight or get away from that anxiety. So let's say you try to run from it. You try to escape. You try to run from it. You start pacing around the house. You start chugging water. You start doing all these little things, right? To try to get these physical symptoms to leave you alone. But by doing so, you are just telling the brain, hey, look how they're reacting. Look how they're behaving. They are taking this as a sign of real danger, so I guess the danger is real. Let's keep the anxiety levels high. This is the cycle, right? So these rituals, although they seem needed, although they seem like they bring you maybe some short-term comfort, which they don't for long, right? These rituals at the end of the day is what are, teaching your brain that the anxiety is needed. So when you fight with these thoughts and feelings, we consider that a ritual. When you try to do things to try to run away or escape from or fight with these anxious symptoms, we consider that a ritual. Rituals, like I said, although they seem to provide some short term relief, it never lasts. And it just tells the brain, hey, the anxiety should stay up. The anxiety is needed, right? That's what these rituals do. So that's why in this blog post, it clearly says anxiety minus rituals equals cure. That's why. Because these rituals are what is telling the brain, okay, hey, we need to be anxious. Hey, I'm in danger. That's what these rituals are serving to do. Now, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't know that. They don't know that when they try to fight with the thought, that is a ritual, right? They think ritual, and they think, oh well, that's for somebody who washes their hands after they touch a dirty doorknob. That's for someone with like germ OCD or something, right? No, rituals go far beyond just the typical stuff. We consider a ritual to be anything that you try to do to fight with these thoughts and feelings. So let's say you're sitting around, you're playing a video game, you're enjoying your night. Here comes anxious physical symptoms. If you get up and pace around your room because it makes you feel a little bit better, right? You're not doing what you want to do at that point. You're doing what the anxiety wants you to do. You're doing a ritual. And this reinforces to the brain, okay, that alarm must be needed because when I sounded that alarm, my person stopped what they were doing, got out of bed, and started pacing around the room, right? Right? So that must mean that my alarm was correct. Okay? So what you're doing with these rituals is you're trying to seek some sort of relief, but by doing this you're no longer living for yourself, you're living for the anxiety, and you're reinforcing to the brain that these thoughts, symptoms, situations, whatever, these triggers as people call them, must be real dangers, and that's how you get stuck in the cycle. So you do the rituals, whether it's a mental ritual or whatever it is that you do, to try to seek some sort of relief, right? But by doing so, you never get to prove to your brain that the anxiety is not needed. So it's far more uncomfortable at first to use acceptance and drop the rituals. That makes people feel vulnerable. That makes people feel uncertain. That makes people do something they're not used to doing, right? So that's where people get stuck. They don't want to do it. They don't want to put in the work because it's easier just to give in to the mental rituals or the physical rituals, whatever, to try to get some short-term relief. It's easier to go that route in the short term than it is to use acceptance. But the problem is you never teach the brain the truth, right? So this is where people get caught up in the cycle. And that's why it clearly states anxiety minus rituals equals cure. Now, is that exactly the funnest thing in the world to do? No. Does it take work? Does it take practice? Yes, of course. But as long as you live a life trying to satisfy the anxiety, right? As long as you live a life where your life revolves around rituals to try to satisfy these symptoms, to try to satisfy these thoughts, you never give your brain a chance to truly learn. You never give your amygdala a chance to learn, right? Because you're just reinforcing the anxiety message all day long with all these different rituals, right? And that's why the two main keys are what they are. Live your life, stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings, because as you're living your life, you are naturally starting to drop rituals. Right? As you live your life, you are naturally starting to drop rituals. Now you see why the two main keys are what they are. Now you see why this comes full circle. So I'll give you another example before we wrap up the point of the stream. Why is it that anxiety minus rituals equals cure, right? What does that look like? What does that look like in a somebody who's trying to recover? What does that look like in their daily life? Well, let's say, for example, you're minding your own business, and all of a sudden you've got this sudden urge to flee. You've got this sudden urge to flee. The alarm has been activated. Now, if you reinforce that message by doing what the alarm wants you to do, which is to flee in that example, right? You are just going to do just that. You are going to reinforce to the brain that that alarm was needed. You never give your amygdala a chance to see that that alarm was false, right? You never give your amygdala that chance to see that the alarm was false. Now, let's say I've got a negative intrusive thought that says you better do this or said bad thing might happen. That makes you very anxious. The first thing you do, you jump into the rituals. You start arguing. That won't happen because this or that. Or maybe you cancel the plans. Or maybe you obey whatever it is, right? You obey the alarm because it's easier to get that short-term relief. Here's the problem. You never teach your amygdala that that alarm was false because you did what it wanted you to do, right? You did what it wanted you to do. So the amygdala never got the chance to see it right through, as Dr. Claire Weeks used to call it. The amygdala never got the chance to see it right through. You never got to prove to your brain that that thought was not a real danger because you started to act. Oh, get rid of it, get rid of it, do this thing, call this person, do this thing, do whatever I have to do to make it go away. You did that, you got short-term relief, but you reacted to that thought in that way. Therefore, the brain never got the chance to see it right through. The brain never got the chance to say, okay, this is not a real danger. Now you've reinforced the message. Now you're in the cycle, right? And that's exactly why, okay, exactly why anxiety minus rituals equals cure. So really at this point it's up to you guys. Are you willing to live a life where you're always seeking the short-term relief but then you're always just borderline miserable, or are you willing to dive into this and say no more rituals? I'm just going to allow my amygdala to see this for what it is so that I can start to reprogram my brain. Not exactly the funnest thing in the world to do, and it does take time, but really at this point, the ball's in your court. Which one do you want more? Do you want to live a life where you're always trying to satisfy the anxiety? You're always having to resort to the rituals. You're always trying to seek out this short-term comfort, right? Or do you want to dive straight head first into this thing and say, okay, I'm willing to allow whatever comes to come without giving into these compulsions, these rituals, whatever you want to call them, so that I can start to program my brain to be the way that I want it to be so that I can get out of this cycle, right? That is the question. Now that you know what's up, now that you know how the game is played, now that you've got all the very simple rules right in front of you, it's a matter of choice. It's a matter of choice. And no, you don't have to be perfect because nobody is. You're all human beings, right? And you should be proud of how far you've come. But with that being said, we do need to step up consistency. We do need to work on consistency, right? Right? Like, for example, someone says, anxiety is tricky. I going insane again. Need advice. You've already got it. You already got it. Do you go for the ritual? Do you go for the short term comfort? Do you fight with the thought of your mind says, oh, I might go insane? The amygdala says, oh, yeah, Henry used to react so bad to this thought, so this must be a real danger. Do you want to continue to reinforce that? Or do you want to say, you know what? If I go insane, I go insane, right? I'm not going to try to make this thought go away, not going to try to make the feelings go away, just going to change my perspective from this is a bad thing to this is an opportunity, and I'm going to teach my amygdala that this alarm isn't needed. You've reacted to this thought the way that you have for so long. It's no wonder that you're feeling very panicky and triggered over this thought. It's what you've taught your brain to do. Every time this thought comes around, you have taught the amygdala that this is a bad thing by the way that you react to it. The amygdala is only doing what you're telling it to do, right? So in a way, anxiety makes you feel very out of control, but you have to understand you're the only one in control here. Anxiety makes you feel very out of control, but you're the only one in control. You have taught your amygdala to react this way by how you respond to these thoughts and feelings. You have taught your amygdala how to act. It's only doing what you're telling it to do. There's absolutely nothing outside of you causing this to happen. There's absolutely no monsters. There's no enemies. If you want to see the person that's responsible for how your amygdala is reacting to these thoughts, situations, people, etc., whatever your triggers are, grab a mirror. Grab a mirror, right? Grab a mirror. So here's the thing. The amygdala is only doing what you have taught it to do. You have to stop viewing it as a monster, as an enemy, as something outside of you. It is only doing what you've taught it to do. Every time this thought, this person, this situation, this trigger comes around, you react very negatively to it. You start using compulsions, rituals, you start fighting, arguing, running, whatever it is that you do. You are teaching the amygdala that this is the way it needs to operate. Therefore, it does what you tell it to do indirectly, right? So, and then we get frustrated. We get mad and we start pointing the fingers, anxiety this, panic this. No, no, no. This is the way that you have taught your amygdala to be, right? And I know it's easier said than done to sit through the triggers, to continue living your life, to not try to ritualize or fight with them or argue with them, right? But you are the one who's programming your amygdala to act the way that it's acting. It would not be acting the way that it's acting right now if you hadn't taught it to act that way, right? And I'm not trying to blame you because this is before you knew what you know now. But now that you know what you know now, the ball's in your court. Now that you know what you know now, it's all up to you, right? How do you want to program your amygdala to respond to these thoughts, feelings, situations, people, triggers, right? How do you want to teach your amygdala to respond to these things? Ball is in your court. I know once upon a time you didn't have this information, and nobody can hold that against you, and you shouldn't hold that against yourself, right? But now we have to say, okay, I know that I am teaching my amygdala how to respond to these thoughts and feelings by my reaction to them. I know that I am teaching my amygdala by how I respond to these thoughts and feelings, whether I accept them or try to fight, ritualize, use compulsions, etc. You know that now. So now it's a matter of, okay, you've got the information. Do we start to implement it or do we not? Right? And that's all it comes down to, and that's all it'll ever come down to, right? And if we're in a habit of pointing fingers, we have to drop that habit. We have to drop that habit. We have to stop looking at it as, oh my gosh, this thing is attacking me, and we have to start looking at it like, oh my gosh, this thing is responding to how I've programmed it. It's just doing it what I've typed in and told it to do, right? Right? So how the amygdala is going to respond to all these different things is going to determine, right? It's going to determine You are going to determine, sorry, you are going to determine how the amygdala continues to respond to these things, right? Right? So, with that being said, we can't point any more fingers. We can't blame the anxiety. Oh, Wonder Bro, it's not leading, if you continue to fight it, then you continue to reinforce the message. You are responsible for how your amygdala behaves, right? And until we take personal responsibility for that, until we're honest with ourselves, you can forget making progress if you're not honest with yourself. I'll be blunt with you for a second. You can absolutely forget making any sort of progress if you're not honest with yourself. If you can't honestly sit down and say to yourself, okay, every time you're anxious or have these thoughts or whatever, you do this bad compulsion, you do this ritual, you do this, you do that, right? If you can't sit down and be honest with yourself, there's no point in watching because we're not going to get anywhere because you're going to live under the lie that you're not fighting with these things when you know damn well deep down inside you are, right? You're still fighting mentally, you're still arguing, you're still not doing the things that you want to do. You're still laying in bed too much. You're still, whatever the compulsions and rituals are. So I'll just be blunt with you. If you're not honest with yourself, we're not going to make any progress whatsoever. We're not going to make any progress whatsoever. So first things first, you've got to be honest and you've got to become self-aware. If there's any bad habits there, they must be dropped. If there's any bad habits there, they must be dropped. And if you can't get honest with yourself, no point in being here, right? If you can't get honest with yourself, there's no point in being here because then we can't make the necessary changes. So, with that being said, the ball is in your court. Whatever you decide to do with it is up to you. But you have to have some self-reflection. You have to be able to sit there and self-reflect and be honest with yourself. All right, you guys? So the way that your amygdala is programmed, completely up to you. Completely up to you. All right? I love you guys. We're going to head on over to the post stream. Thank you so much for watching. I feel like that was a good one. Anxiety minus rituals equals cure. I'm happy with that one. I'm happy with that one. I like that one. That was a good one. All right, let's see who we've got in chat. And while we do that, let's go ahead and get some music going. Remember, guys, what's the most important thing? What do we always say? What is the most important thing when it comes to all this good stuff? Huh? What's the most important thing? Whether or not you use it, right? Whether or not you use it, that's always going to be the most important part of this. Thanks, Wonder Bro, for all your dedication. It's a life changer. I appreciate that, Mindy. Thanks for watching. Let's see. Let's get some music. We're not going to do spooky music tonight. We're just going to do some regular music here. I apologize again for being so late to the stream tonight, guys. I didn't mean to, right? I didn't mean to. Like I said, my sleep is just, oh man, it's all over the place right now. It really is. It is just all over the place, guys. I'm working on it though, man, slowly. I'm working on it. But I just got back from like that 3-day break, so I didn't want to take another day, right? I wanted to be here even though we had to start a little bit late. I wanted to be here. What's up, Ghost? What's up, Allison? I had to trick my brain into surpassing the panic response I used to make myself believe that my water was contaminated so I could surpass that medical anxiety that plagued me. So basically just, exposure that you put on yourself, and that's excellent. That's excellent. Good old Uno reverse card. Yeah. So you have to stick with the anxiety until the anxiety learns that the danger is not real. So that means no compulsions, no rituals, no mentally fighting with it all, yada, yada, yada. You're going to be aware of it, Z. Yeah, you're going to be aware of it, dude. That's not necessarily a problem. But congrats, George. Also, 40-day streak. Yes, we are on a 40-day streak, dude. Yesterday we were in here, and I didn't think we were going to make it. I'll be honest. I didn't think we were going to make it to the 40-day streak. We ended up making it. I was like, holy shit. Look at us go. Like, right? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, forced experience. Exactly. But yeah, 40-day streak, absolutely insane, dude. When will it end? I don't know, but I appreciate it, guys, so much. You have no idea. You guys spend a whole lot of your time coming in here and thanking me for all that I do, and I just want to spend a minute or two to thank you guys for what you do, seriously. I don't know what I would do without you guys, right? I know like I said, I know you guys make it a point to always thank me. Well, I just want to thank you because without you guys, I don't know what I'd be doing. So thank you so much for all that you do, guys. I really, really freaking appreciate it. I do. Holy shit. Speaking of which, Chase, man, Chase coming in with the $50 tip, dude. Would you look at that? Chase, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the shit out of that, dude. Can we get a big round of applause in the chat for my boy Chase? Thank you so much, dude. Coming in and knocking out tip goal all by himself. You know what that means, chat? We're moving on to a 41-day streak. Wow, look at that timing. Thank you so much, Chase. I appreciate you, man. I really do. Thank you guys. Thank you. Seriously, the a 41-day streak, that's unheard of. A lot of people that stream have like tip goal streaks or whatever, and this is honestly one of the highest ones I've ever seen personally. So thank you guys so much. That's insane. Huge, huge shout out to Chase, man, coming in tonight and saying, you know what, we're going to 41. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it by myself. Thank you so much, Chase. I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you. Yeah, huge round of applause for Chase in chat. Hey, VIP. Yeah, Chase is the VIP tonight, dude. I appreciate you, Chase. I'm assuming I'm saying his name right. I hope. I like even like very easy to pronounce names. I'm always like maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. Thank you so much, dude. Absolutely amazing. Clapping here, here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep, thank you for showing Chase some love, man. He deserves it. That timing, though. That timing. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's great, guys. Thank you so much. 41 days, absolutely insane. I honestly thought we'd make it like 10 at the most, and then we'd have to keep restarting it and stuff. But holy shit, 41 days. Chase, appreciate you. Can help you out. Alright. Z says, attaboy, Chase. Attaboy, man. I appreciate you. I don't know about others, but this is the perfect time for me. 10 o'clock in the morning for me, perfect. I must have missed that comment, Ghost. I'm good. I'm glad it's a good time for you. Yeah, I don't see you in the streams a whole lot. I feel like you have to watch them after they've been uploaded most of the time. So, sometimes when I do arrive fashionably late to my streams, it works out for some people due to time zones and stuff. Um, but I don't know. I still feel like I need to get my sleep on track a little bit better. For some people it works out for, but I feel like for most of my viewers it doesn't work out. Like I need to stream a little bit earlier. So I have to go with like majority here. Have to go with majority. Having a panic attack now after the gym. That is awesome, Brian. That is awesome, dude. Congrats. Congrats. So very happy for you. You notice, we don't view these things as a bad thing because why would we? Why on earth would we do that? Why on earth would we view a physical feeling as a bad thing? Why on earth would we view any of this as a bad thing? That is not what we want to do. We want to change that perspective around and we want to say, okay, false alarm, perfect. I'm going to start to work on how I accept these symptoms and thoughts without giving them more credit than they deserve. I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. This is the mindset that we need. We need the mindset of I want this. We need the mindset of please, I want this. We need the mindset of I have suffered long enough, and if it takes going through it to teach myself how to deal with it, then that's what I'm going to do. I want this opportunity. I need this opportunity. This is the mindset that we have to adopt so that we can drop this nasty second fear, right? That's what it's all about. I like how George put it. It's a boost of XP. A panic attack is nothing more than double XP weekend. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What's up, Jesse? It's been a while since I've seen you, dude. I've missed you, man. How you been? You know where you do the most work on recovery? You know where you do the most work on your amygdala? Is in the heat of the moment. That's where you do the most work. That's where you show the amygdala the truth, right? You absolutely need this. You absolutely need this so badly. So badly do you need this. Sun go down. Double XP weekend, dude. Right? Double XP weekend. How else are you going to prove to your amygdala that the danger is not real? How else are you going to prove to yourself, right? How else? How else? How else, man? You're all making great progress. Wonder Bread, 2 months ago, I couldn't leave my house, let alone go across the river to town. Anxiety made sure of that. I'm in Florida. I live in Tennessee. I not only left the house, but I traveled to Florida. That is amazing. It just goes to show you, when you stand up to this fucking thing, when you stand up, let's just be blunt for a second. When you stand up to this fucking thing and you say, okay, thoughts, do what you want to do. You say, okay, feelings, do what you want to do. Right? When you stand up to this fucking thing, you realize that it was you psyching yourself up the whole time. There was nothing there, right? And it's amazing. It's amazing. Amazing, amazing. And I'm proud of each and every one of you, and you should be proud of yourselves too. Any news on Wonder Bros side of life? Any news? Any news? Let's see. Do I have anything new to report really? Um, not really. Not really. Nothing that you guys don't already know. Exactly, Mindy. Exactly. It takes time. It takes time. See it as opportunities. Don't see it as a bad thing. That's really the mindset here. I do have a lot of catching up that I need to do tonight. So there's that. Probably cut the stream a little bit early tonight. But other than that, I mean, I woke up extremely late and I was like, it's way too late to do a stream. It's like way too late. But I was like, nah. Just took a 3 day break. I did a stream yesterday. There's no way I can miss another day. So here we are, and it turned out to be a really good one. I'm glad we did decide to do it. But yeah, I still might have to cut it a little bit short tonight though, because there's a lot I've got to get caught up on. A lot I got to do around this house. A lot I got to do in general. Hey, first time back in the gym in 2 months. Well, it's no wonder that your amygdala was like a little sketched, right? And you might have worked yourself up a little bit, but you were able to pull it back in and say, hey, I need this, right? And you just put in a lot of good work, so you should be proud of yourself, absolutely. Absolutely. Gravity. I know I need to also I desperately need to get back into making YouTube shorts. I know you guys really enjoy those. Not so sure about the TikTok. We don't have a huge TikTok following or anything, but I definitely need to get back to the YouTube shorts. So I've been kind of pondering those here recently, and you guys might see a new one of those pop up soon. I'm too woke. No, you're too scared. too scared. You say you're too conscious on the fear that yourself can trigger an attack. Of course yourself can trigger an attack. That's what the cycle is, right? That's the cycle that everybody is facing, is that you can trigger your own attacks, which is how that goes, because worry equals anxiety, right? So people are stuck in this cycle where they're quote unquote too conscious. No, you're quote unquote too much of a worrier, right? That's a better way to put that. That's a better way to put that. So now that we know that, which is, like I said, that is the cycle for everybody, right? Right? That is the cycle for everybody, is that we're too conscious, you call it. Well, you're too much of a worrier, right? So you work yourself up. You work yourself up. We need to change the mindset. We need to say it's okay. I want to have this feeling so I can work with it. I want to have these thoughts so I can allow them to be. These feelings, allow them to be. I want to teach my amygdala that all is well, right? Yeah, make sure you hit the like button, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. It really does help. You're on the right track, though, by the way, style alert. You're on the right track. We just need to keep you going in that direction. It's not necessarily that everybody's going to feel more anxiety when they exercise, Carlos, but if you do, that means you've got an amygdala to train, right? And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. Wonder Bro, how's the house situation better? It's getting worked out. It's getting worked out. We're finally starting to get access to the things that we need to get access to, right? And so far, so good. If it wasn't for you guys, it would not be possible. I'll say that. But it's working out. It's starting to become like, a routine. You know what I mean? So we'll see if it continues to go that way. I believe it will. I believe it will. But if anything changes, of course, you guys will be the first to know. But like I said, give yourself major props, because if it wasn't for you guys, it would not be that way. So I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea. I can only hope that I can continue to return the favor, right? That's all I can hope for. Oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na. Alright, guys. Alright, you lovely, amazing people. I am going to drop the Discord link before I head on out. Let me see, let me grab that real quick. Anybody who wants to join us on Discord can feel absolutely free to do so. I'd love to see you. What's up, Perp? You caught us right at the end, man. Alright, let's go ahead and drop that link. Thank you guys so much again for the 41 days. That is all. That is all too mind-blowing to me. I can't believe that we've hit 41 days, guys. Thank you so freaking much. Brian, Ryan. Oh shit, I left my headset on 100. Of course I did. That jump scared me a little bit. Brian, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Let's update that real quick. Thank you so much, Brian. That really helps me out a ton, dude. I appreciate it. Absolutely, George. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brian. Huge shout out, dude. Huge shout out. I love you guys. I love you. You're amazing. I don't know what else to say besides thank you so much for all of your love and continued support. Excellent stream tonight, guys. Thank you again. And let's listen to our song. Let's celebrate. Let's listen to our song. Let's get that pulled up. Thank you guys so much for everything. I will see you very, very soon. And until next time, as always, stay awesome.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Yeah. Did it die? Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type.
tell you everything that you heard, right? Just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die.
No,
Did it die?
wait,
Did it die?
wait.
Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die.
Won't die,
Did it die?
wait,
Did it die?
wait.
Did it die?
My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict. I'm a low life, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting. Don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored. Careful what you wishing for.